Mission Control, the space pod has landed.
Alright, we're here at the KTM Ride-Out event. You can see all the blocks lined up here. I'll be riding the KTM Duke 690. There it is. So, get a good look at that. 2015. Got to straighten it out a little bit so I can. I'm like pointing downhill. It was a little tricky getting the kickstand up. It was kind of a weird, I'm in a weird bit of terrain because it's next to the curb and it's kind of going down. A little bit tall, but the bike settles nicely. The bike settles nicely under your weight. I think this is a supermoto or a naked. Easy clutch action. Flash to pass right here. Flash to pass. Signals. Feels a lot like a dirt bike. Not that I've been on a ton of dirt bikes. I believe this is a single. It's very upright. Interesting feel to it. Good brakes. Yeah, it feels a lot like a dirt bike. It feels a little tractory. Now, it actually feels a lot like the 390, except it's a 690. This is the Duke, relaxed ergos, very upright ergos. Now I know already I gotta rely on the torque on this thing. The bite point's right at the end of the travel of the lever, the clutch lever. no gear indicator that I can see. Feels a lot like Baker X Derek's DR200, though with a lot more power, surely. The tank is narrow as you would expect from something that's like a dirt bike or a supermoto. You can basically dump the clutch on this thing. The tack is like a needle tack right here. That's pretty good. It's actually pretty fun. It's so upright. It's not what I'm used to, but you know, I could see cruising on this on the freeway. Maybe in the twisties. I don't know how it is on the twisties yet because it's so upright. But you know, it's very supermoto style. The seat has a really nice grip in the back, and it holds your butt in place very nicely. You will not slide off of this thing. Seems to handle uneven terrain pretty darn well. Lots of grunt. I kind of love that cupping of the seat. It's pretty sweet. That rhymes, I know, it rhymes. Starting to get used to the power band more, the shift points. The peg position is super comfortable. It's really nice. It's just a very relaxed position. It's almost like holding a TV tray or putting your hands on a TV tray in front of you when you're on an easy chair. It's kind of like that. It's just super easy to ride. Much nicer than I thought it would be, actually. You know, I'm not getting any younger, so these comfortable bikes are starting to appeal to me just a little bit more every year. Now that I'm 47. It's very fluffy down low with the power band. Very easy to ride slowly. At a walking pace, kinda. The bite point's a little too far out, but you know, it's not my bike. Normally I would adjust and fix things like that. They said no wheelies. That guy just did a little wheelie. Weird turning this thing because the bars are so close to you. I don't want to push too hard on a bike, I don't know. You kind of got to lean into it. Front brake is sufficient. You don't really need you don't really need the rear brake. You do catch a lot of wind on this bike. Yeah, it pulls like a tank. very flickable, very maneuverable, especially with the bars. You can just wrestle, you can move them all over. It's very easy to maneuver it. I feel like I'm gonna stall it because the revs get so low, but you know what? The revs just sound low. They're really not that low. We're at 4K. But when you're used to a parallel twin, that sounds like you're about to stall it. So it's really weird. You just gotta get used to the bike and what it likes to do. I love this flash to pass switch that everyone's putting on bikes these days. I love that. It's so handy, and it's such a good use for the space. The peg's in a weird spot. You kind of got to go behind it if you're short. KTM Adventure right there. The sound of a single is not that inspiring to me, at least not in this bike in particular. "4Ks, man." Sounds like we're stalling. I just gotta get used to it. See, it slopes away like that. So yeah, big thanks to KTM for hosting this event and going around the country with their bikes. I really appreciate it. You know, riders, especially in California, we don't get to test bikes, even though we live in an amazing state for riding. Dealers don't just let you test bikes, and I understand it. There's a lot of liability there. And you may get people that aren't serious, and how do you filter for that? So these events, you can take a finite amount of bikes with, you know, plenty of people having ridden them lots of miles, and let people try the bike and see what it's all about before they buy. Because that's really the only way to do it if you're about to drop between 6 to 12K on a bike and up from that. It's the only way to go. And these days I have a policy where I will not buy a bike unless I ride it first, just because even though the bikes are so good these days, there's little things that could make you wish you bought something different. Watch what you're doing, silver car. See, eventually I would just be totally used to this bike. This guy needs to learn how to use the turnout lane. Decel. Alright, so that was fun. Hope you enjoyed this little test ride of the 690. I didn't really do much on it. Not much with twisties or anything. It's very supermoto-like. It's pretty cool. It's got gobs of torque. I'm sure I didn't do it justice, but hope you enjoyed that anyway. Everybody, thanks for watching. This has been Space Pod, riding the 2015 KTM 690 Duke, and Space Pod out.